Scentland, the land of scent. Hello and welcome to yet another special edition of Scentland, and this time it's going to be all about the festive days, wherever, whatever you celebrate. Obviously, here where I live, it's all about Christmas time, the family being together, singing, having a good time, and all those cliches, right? But it's really all about being with your loved ones and having some nice meals, some nice wines, and so on, the presents and all the related stuff that you do. And obviously, you choose some fragrances that you want to be surrounded with during this special time, also because then afterwards, if you smell them again after a while, they're gonna remind you of those times that you had when you used them. So I have a selection of 6, and it's not just a random selection, because each of these half dozen fragrances, okay, so each of them do have one single ingredients, one single note that you can point out that is, to me, for me, specially related to this festive time. So let's start. Luciano Pavarotti, the original 1994 release. This one is a heavy hitter. This one is more probably for evening occasions, or maybe even going outside in the evening. I don't know, any sort of, maybe to the opera. Pavarotti, right? But definitely something that you should not over apply. It's very heavy, but the note in here that is most reminiscent and mostly reminding me of the Christmas time or the festive days is honey. I love honey in a fragrance, and the honey paired up with many other things, among them patchouli here, is just shining to no end. So therefore this makes me happy and makes this fragrance perfect for the festive days. The honey note in there in Luciano Pavarotti's 1994 is just fantastic. Honey in Luciano Pavarotti. Next one is a niche house, Miller Harris, with a fragrance called Feuille de Tabac, tobacco leaves, if I'm not mistaken. And obviously it's in the name, tobacco, right? Tobacco, there's other notes in here. It's a very, very nice complex fragrance, another heavy hitter, another maybe evening fragrance. But the tobacco in here, the greenish leafy tobacco, is fantastic. Again, reminding me of this special time of the year. Another heavy hitter, so be easy on the trigger with this one. But the tobacco is really wrapping you and treating you very nicely, very warmly, and in a very classy manner, just like the Pavarotti one. This is a classy choice for the festive days from Miller Harris Feuille de Tabac, with the great tobacco note. And then obviously lots of sweet things are appearing on the Christmas table, right? So another note that strongly reminds me of this very special festive time is included in this fragrance from Cristiano Ronaldo, private edition, legacy private edition. And that note is maple syrup, or maple. Obviously strongly related to this very special time, right? It's kind of sweet, not overly sweet in this one. This smells more like a cake type of fragrance, but it's perfect for, not too gourmand, okay? It's not leaning over that border. It's not too gourmandish. It just has this tremendous nice maple note in there, that paired up with vanilla and other things that make this very, very special and very much enjoyable, especially during these very special festive days. Cristiano Ronaldo Legacy Private Edition, also great packaging here. And there is another house that I really like, and it gets lots of kind of bad vibes all around the fragrance community, which I don't understand, because okay, they have been releasing maybe too many fragrances, too many flankers, and some were not that great. But there's every now and so often every now and then there is a great release from this house, and I really love them. And they have actually 3 fragrances from 3 different decades, believe it or not, and all being present in my half dozen top fragrances for the festive days. And obviously each of them has a special note related to Christmas or festive time. Let's go back to 1994. The house I've been talking about was Tommy Hilfiger, or is Tommy Hilfiger, and this fragrance is a very, very nice, fresh fragrance with a tremendous apple pie note. Apple pie is perfect for this time of the year, right? It's warm, it's positive, it's bright, it's uplifting. The great thing about it's fresh. The other 3 fragrances that I've shown so far are quite heavy. And sometimes it's good to have in a colder season to have heavier fragrances, but mostly I prefer actually to have fresh fragrances because it's dark outside mostly and it's cold and you need a mood booster, right? And a fresh warm fragrance just like Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger with that special apple pie note is just the best choice, not just for the festive days but for the winter time in general. So definitely in my lineup here. Then next decade is the 2000s, released in 2001. This Tommy Hilfiger fragrance, Tea, right? Tommy Tea. What is the special note in here? Is that Santa knocking on my door? No, it's not. There's a construction going on nearby. So don't be diverted. I'm trying to focus as well on the review while they're knocking on my door. So this one has a very nicely done modern pine note in this. Pine, this fragrance is laundry fresh and piney and airy and woody and very, very clean, and again very fresh and uplifting. This smells like you just put on fresh clothes and went out in the Swiss Alps skiing. But the main note that is a very calming and uplifting note here in this one is indeed the pine. The pine is a modern pine, not the old-fashioned pine. It's a very nice modern pine, as you would expect from Tommy Hilfiger, and it's just together with this laundry cleanness is just perfect for wintertime. Very uplifting, fantastic fragrance. And then last but not least, I've mentioned drinks, right? You drink all sorts of things around these days. Nice wines, nice liquors, and this is another Tommy Hilfiger release that came out 2017, I think. Endless Blue, just fantastic fragrance, and it includes a great cognac note. Cognac, you know, the French, some call it brandy, but it's not exactly the right name for it because cognac is a special region in France where cognac is being made. It's a very nice, very strong, delicious drink, and this has a cognac note, a very prominent boozy. It's boozy, right? It's a boozy cognac note in there, paired up with a tremendously nice, almost kind of powdery cardamom and a world-class rosemary. And the rosemary makes this really fresh. Endless Blue it's not an aquatic one. It's a very fresh fragrance with very nice boozy and cardamom aspects to it. It makes it delicious, boozy and fresh, uplifting as well. So perfect choice again for the festive days with this great cognac note. So there you see, there's my top half dozen for the festive days. The honey, the tobacco, the maple, the apple pie, the pine, and the cognac all come together to join me during these very nice days. Looking forward to it, spending it with the family, kids and loved ones. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, nice festive days, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, okay? And if you don't celebrate, just be together with your loved ones and enjoy a special time off work or whatever, and think about, you know, those fragrances that you choose for these days, because they're always going to be reminding you of these special days. You create memories, okay? So look at that, for example. That is, my mom used to do these. It's an orange with cloves, so it's warm, welcoming, kind of sweet. I love the smell of this one, for example. Great for, you know, any sort of setting in the kitchen or living room. wherever you are. Fantastic. So it's not going to be necessarily always a fragrance that's reminding you of Christmas, but something special like this. You never know. Thanks very much for your attention. I wish you a great time, and I'll be back. Take care, and bye-bye.